I got you, people. So listen here, people. When you're doing work and you your own employee, you're an employer. Whatever you want to call yourself, employee, employer, but you're private. You don't have nobody to report to, right? So I do my jobs here and there for other people in private, and that's what I do. I deliver. So the manager called me from one of the stores, and he had 3 pallets, and said, Tony, you probably gonna have to come back. I said, don't worry, I got you. Just give me 30 minutes. I was telling him 30 minutes, but it could be closer. But I just say 30 minutes, let that give them time to get their stuff together. So when I got there, it was 3 pallets actually, and I didn't know that thing was gonna fit in my truck. But it fit. Everything fitted in the truck. So I started driving. And I told her, yo, before I go, let them know that I'm gonna be at the store. So to be ready. So I also text them too. I text them that I'm going over right now, and so be ready. Then I text them the price. I send it to the manager, 2 managers. Yo, it's gonna be such and such price, and it's okay. Then I come back for the other 3 pallets, and I charge them cheap. Because they my local store, things like that, and they know me, and they don't actually know me, but they know that I do work. So when I get to the store, right, the guy comes down and tells me, don't worry, I help you. I said, what you mean you help you? I don't do that. All I do is deliver. Don't stop saying for me to help, because I'm not your employee. I don't work for the store. I keep on telling you, I don't work for the store. I'm a private delivery. I work for myself, and I just do deliveries. All I could do is put your boxes there for you, and you the one that's gonna pick them up on your hand truck and put them in the freight elevator. I don't go carry your boxes with the hand truck into your freight elevator. I keep on telling y'all I don't do that. That's not my job. I tell them I don't do that. You're supposed to send somebody else down, at least 2 people, to help you out. Pass you the boxes, you load it up, and you put them in the freight elevator, and let your other worker, set them the way he want to set them up, and so it could fit all in one shot, so you don't have to keep on coming up and down. And I don't think that these kids, the other employee that works there, he's an older guy. He's saying that they're lazy. These young kids, that they high and things like that, because they don't want to do that thing. They don't like taking the deliveries. They don't like to taking them up, and I don't know what they do, unboxing them or counting the boxes, putting them on the log or whatever. He was saying that they're just lazy. Listen, that's not my problem. Every time I come here, everybody got an excuse, man. You can't be doing that. My job is to deliver, and that's it, get paid, and I'm out. And then they're trying to tell me that, I wasn't gonna get paid until I bring the other delivery. No, that's not how it works. Once I come over here and I have a delivery and I'm loading, I get paid right there. I don't get paid waiting until I come back so you could pay me. No, it don't work like that. And I think I don't know who did it, but somebody had called the other manager from the other store, and they also told me they just didn't want to make another receipt, things that they want to do everything but that's not the way it works. If when I get there and I have a delivery, you have to pay me right there and then. And then I leave and I go get you. I already told you that, and we spoke about it, that I was going to come back to get you the other delivery, and I gave them a discount, because I try to work with everybody, even though I know they could pay more. But, to me, this is a hobby, and that's how I use the money, so like that I don't have to use my actual money, because I use my actual money to pay other bills. And the money that I make is, my hobby bills and my spending money. So that's what I do. But I didn't like that. He said that I got to help him. And then they told me that, we're going to pay you when you come back with the other. No. Every time I go to a store and I drop off a delivery, I'm expected to get paid right there and then. Else, I will cancel the deliveries and I won't do it no more. You're going to have to pay a regular price for the deliveries. But they accommodate me. They apologize, and they pay me. The other manager called me and said, "Yeah, don't worry, Tony, we got you. Yeah, you did said that this you was gonna come back for a second delivery, and we agree upon that." I said, "Yeah, but every time I go there, it's something different. You can't be doing that. you know, because me and the other manager, we understand each other. Once I say something, I come in and things, I do it. Because if there was a problems, I'd be right on the phone. I let them know, listen, I can't make it. This came up, and I won't be able to do that pickup for you and things like that. So he understands that, but he knows usually if I tell him, yes, I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. You know, I got to tell him I'm going to do it and change my mind. Because, you know, I live the old ways. When you give somebody your word is bound. It don't have to be on paper. Once you say you're going to do something, you have to, you know, comply with it and obey with it. That's and a man's agreement. So that's how I do things, you know, with man's word. You know, because man's word says a lot. And as I break that, you know, it's going to diminish my reputation. And I don't like that. And I don't want to diminish his reputation because he gave me recommendation to his boss, and his boss was the one that hired me. Well, not actually hired me, but they used me to do deliveries for the store. And with that, people, I let you go. Just, you know, be potential and straightforward with how you want to do your business and how you want to get paid and how you want them to treat you. You know, don't let them step up with you and give you ultimatums that you're going to accept it their way. No, you're not their employee. You're your own private employee, and you set the rules. And with that, I let you go, and you think about that.